Hey, what is up, everyone? It is your girl Liv. You're currently listening or watching the Orange Blossom Special Show. This is a podcast dedicated to grief, the ones we have lost, and just learning to laugh, heal, and repeat along the way. I just wanted to take the time to say thank you for choosing to watch or listen this podcast wherever you are at. And you can continue to support me by either hitting the follow, like, or subscribe button. Today's episode is going to be about Thanksgiving and holiday traditions, so let's get into it. So, what made me get thinking about this episode is one, the fact that Thanksgiving foods are not my favorite foods, and I'm going to say that. I like the crescent rolls and everything else I really don't care about. I remember during 2020 my dad, me being like, hey, I want to come down for Thanksgiving. And he said, okay. And I said, can we just do surf and turf? And he said, absolutely. And that was a fantastic Thanksgiving. Also, my uncle makes really good frozen whiskey sours. And he can only make them. And I'm not going to be around him this year. So I'm going to miss out on those. And then also, I was thinking about how I feel like there's so much pressure on Thanksgiving to be perfect. And it's this holiday where everyone really, I feel like, tries to go out of their way. And it's a holiday where we're supposed to be thankful, and instead everyone complains. And so to me, it's just interesting. I personally feel as if Thanksgiving is my sit out holiday. I don't know if it's just like family dynamics growing up or what, but I know that there are some people who like really love Thanksgiving. I think for me, it kind of like depends on the year. Last year, and I want to say maybe the year before, we went to Red Lobster for Thanksgiving. I can't really remember. And it was just so much better, so much easier. The Red Lobster that we would have gone to, they're just closed on Thanksgiving. They're not actually one of the Red Lobsters that closed. But I would eat seafood and eat like surf and turf over Thanksgiving foods every day. And here's my thing is like Thanksgiving is like a sides dish dinner. Like so many people, turkey, as much as we want turkey to be the star of the show, it's not. And Thanksgiving leftovers are better than Thanksgiving Day. And in my family, like we usually would take leftovers from the turkey and stuff and use it to make soup. And that to me was better than the Thanksgiving meal. And I feel like everyone wants to make turkey seem like it's the best thing, and it's not. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. And again, preferences are preferences. But I think part of grief and part of losing family members, family dynamics changing, maybe you're getting married, you're creating your own family, is understanding that you have the power to create your own traditions. You have the power to make the holidays what you want of it. If that means that you eat like Chinese and pizza on Thanksgiving and not Thanksgiving foods, that's fine. Me, we're now doing mimosas on Thanksgiving because that's what I want. And I finished the New York City Marathon. I am someone who, like, yes, it's fun to be able to like go run and do stuff on Thanksgiving, but I also feel like Thanksgiving is notoriously just like a day to rot, and there's plenty of stuff to do around the year. Now, if you're a turkey trot family, fine. I hope you guys have your fun. I'm going to be rotting drinking mimosas. So that's that. And in case you're wondering what type of mimosas, we're doing apple cider mimosas because that's what my sister wanted. And again, we have the power to create our own traditions and kind of do what it is that we want. And I think part of grief and part of healing is learning to restructure your thoughts around the holidays. And I feel like Thanksgiving is always interesting because you have the big Thanksgiving meal, you have the Thanksgiving parade, you have all this other stuff, and then you have Black Friday, where women in the past have wanted to fight each other over a $30 sweater that is now marked at $5. And we are downgrading as a country because Black Friday is not Black Friday anymore. Because now everyone wants to start deals in the beginning of November. And because of that, I feel like the deals aren't dealing like they used to deal before. Like 20% off is not a Black Friday discount. You should be able to get a $500 TV for $100. That's a Black Friday deal. But I remember seeing like videos of people like peeling off the stickers on like the Target TVs, and they were the same price, but they were like, oh, it's Black Friday. And I feel like that is pretty much how grief feels around the holidays. It's you're being told to be thankful by a bunch of people who aren't thankful themselves. And it's just everyone wanting to give their opinion. And I think the hardest thing about the holidays is just knowing that, like, unfortunately, this is a time of year where, one, a lot of people lose loved ones, and two, it's a year and time of seasonal depression, and people are like screaming on the inside, and they're sad, and they're told to be grateful, be thankful, you're #blessed. And I get that. I understand that, like, there is that aspect of, like, there is power in gratitude, and that it does help rewire your brain for sure. But at the same time, I feel like if you are grieving, you have the choice to go through that grieving process. And the grieving process takes time, and it's different for everybody. It's like a snowflake. Every single person handles grief differently. And I personally think that one of the worst things you can do when someone has just lost literally a piece of them is tell them, you should be grateful, you're made whole, you're going to get through this. Sometimes people just want someone to sit with them and be with them and be like, you know what? I know you're hurting. Like, do you want to come over to my house for Thanksgiving? And just be able to take like the executive function around their brain where they don't have to make decisions, where their brain can just internally process everything. Because the thing about grief specifically is, it's like, I have felt this so much with my brain this past year, and saying it's hard for me to do X, Y, and Z, and people giving me ideas for X, Y, and Z. But I have a wound in my brain that has to heal, and I'm the only person who can feel that this wound is here, and no one else sees it. And then people think that, oh, why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? And it's like, I'm trying, but I'm not healed. And so when you are going through grief and you are going through trauma, or you have experienced something traumatic, your brain thinks differently. It does not think like a normal brain does. And you cannot, or people cannot be giving advice for someone who is normal and healthy to someone who is broken. And I told my friend, I feel as if it's like you have a broken leg and people are expecting you to run a marathon and you can't even walk. And I feel so many people go through that type of mentality when it comes to these holiday seasons. Like, they are literally just trying to get by and just crawl their way through and crawl their way out, because they don't have the bandwidth to stand yet. And people are asking you at the Thanksgiving table why you're not okay. Why are you unhappy? Why are you sad? And you're dealing with all of these things. And you're told just to sit there and be thankful and be happy. And you internally just want to scream inside. And you just want someone to be able to say that I see you. And so that is what I'm going to say, is that if you are someone who you are struggling this Thanksgiving, maybe you're with a loved one who or maybe you're without a loved one, like it's okay to not feel joyful, holly. It's okay if you're maybe not feeling as thankful as you should be. It's okay if you are hurting inside and this is just a really hard season for you. And that I think is something to hone in on, is that the holidays at the end of the day are really just a season and it's just one time of year. And the good thing is that they don't last forever. And these times don't last forever. And this is the only Thanksgiving holiday season of 2024 that you're going to have. And hopefully next year is much better and much brighter. And I think that like the other aspect to it is there's always this unfamiliarity when it comes to the holidays when you're going through grief, because you are like trying to prepare your brain for the worst and also hope for the best. And I remember like last year, around the holidays, I thought that they would be much sadder than they were, and they ended up turning out to be better than I thought that they were, which I guess which I guess you could say is like a good thing. But like at the end of the day, I know from talking to friends and talking to people this week that there's just a lot of people who are going through it. And I just want to make sure that you know that there's people out there who see you, who love you, who appreciate you, who value you. And even if you're by yourself this year, you get to do whatever you want. You get to eat what you like. You don't have to listen to anyone's beck and call. So there's always going to be pros and cons to every single holiday season. I yeah, I know that there's like a lot of people who like they really are just trying to make of it what they can, and social media isn't real when it comes to the holidays. I think that people only show the good snippets of their family get-togethers. No one shows the crazy aunt and uncles fighting. No one shows the fights that are going to happen over difference in political views. And everyone, I feel like, has their own way of like processing what they've gone through this past year. And I feel like Thanksgiving is kind of the day where people decide to hash things out. I don't know why, but they do. And all I have to say is I think my dad had Thanksgiving right when he knew that like Thanksgiving is a drinking holiday, and that alcohol does help, unless, you know, you are recovering, and then that's different. But I always remember like my dad would make sure that we would watch the Lions football game, even though he didn't watch football the rest of the year. So that was always interesting, or something that I would think is really funny. Hi, this is editing Olivia telling you that my mic just cut out. I just wanted to say thank you again for watching this video. Have a happy Thanksgiving, enjoy your holidays, and remember that in life, you can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. That's an REO Speedwagon album title or song or something off of it. Anyway, hope you like this video or podcast. Bye!